Hello, in this video, I'm going to explain what are wrapper classes. Let's begin by creating a project and I'll call it as using wrapper classes. Let's create a program called co.vinod.programs.program01 and add a main function where we can write our code. A wrapper class is a class representing a primitive type. Now, the primitives in Java are short. Let's start with a byte, short, int, long. These are four integers. Then we have float and double to represent decimal values. We have a char to represent characters, and then we have a boolean to represent true or false scenarios. Wrappers, on the other hand, are classes in java.lang package which start with a capital letter. So byte is B capital here. Short, for int, it is called integer. We have long, float, double, and for character or char, it is called character, and for boolean, of course, it is boolean with capital B. Now, these classes provide some useful functions. For example, if I look at the integer class and press F4, you will see that there are many static methods and fields. Now, it is as simple as what is the maximum value that an integer can hold, or a minimum value, or it could be how many bits are present in that particular data type. You also have something like uh, converting from a string to an integer, even if it is of a different number system like decimal to binary or whatever it is. You can reverse an integer and get another integer. You can also convert that into a string format represented as binary, hexadecimal, or octal system. Now, these are some of the functions that could be useful. So let's go create a program and use that. So let's go create one string str equals to 1010000101. Now, I have no clue as what is that number. Let's see what is that number in decimal system. So we'll say int num equals to integer dot parse int. But if I just give like s, then it will simply give me that number back, whatever that it is. It is going to be considered as probably like 10 crore, 10 lakh, 101. That's what it's going to go. And it is going to execute in give me the same result. However, if I supply the base of that number system, and that is binary for 2, so you can see that it gets converted into its decimal equivalent, which is 325 as coincidentally. Now, the same thing you can also apply and do that with other number systems. For example, imagine I have here a number which is ABC123. Now, this looks like not a number, but then because ABC is perfectly valid for a hexadecimal system, I can say that the radix is 16 and I should be able to get a number corresponding to that. So, if you have this number, you can convert that back to a hexadecimal as well. Now, how do we do that? So, we can just use this one. Imagine I'll type num equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a hexadecimal system. Also, that would be the same thing. So, let's give some other number. Let's give some number like this. And then we would now try to print this in the hexadecimal format. To do that, we can use integer dot to hex string, and the num is what we are interested to print. So, when I execute that, you can see the number is equivalent to 2F52D. Now, do you want a binary equivalent of the same? So, copy this, paste it, and say to binary string of that num. Now, when I execute that, we are able to convert that into a binary equivalent of the same. Now, parsing is one of the common functions of this. The second point of this particular demonstration is to explain boxing and unboxing. Now, for this demonstration, I will take up another project, but I will also ensure that we make some settings changes. For example, we go back and say new Java project. I'll give here using boxing and unboxing. But one thing that I want to change here is that I want to reduce this version to 1.4. Now when I say 1.4, you will see that we would not be able to leverage the features from Java 1.5 onwards. So if I come back to this and create a new program, called program01 and add a main function. If I type here int num equals to 10, that's quite obvious, it is okay. But if I say new integer of 10, now you can see that it's giving me an error. The same line, if I go and copy over to the previous program, now if I save it, you can see that there is no problem because the previous program was part of Java 1.7, whereas this one is giving an error because in 1.4 this is not allowed. So what is happening here? Now you are creating an object, meaning you are creating a box containing a value. So this is called boxing. Now such thing you cannot assign over here. Similarly, if I have here integer num and that is an object, no problem. And if I type int n equals to num, now that gives an error. Here you are trying to convert that box into an unboxed one. So this process is called unboxing and that is not allowed also. However, if I copy these two lines in this particular code, you will see that there is no problem over here. Now boxing, of course, earlier we saw boxing was okay. We created a box and we are trying to unbox that, absolutely no problem. So Java 1.5 onwards, the conversion from an integer object or rather a wrapper object into its primitive version is not a problem and vice versa too. So it's a very important concept. We need to work with that.